Hey guys, good evening. From Doha, Qatar. This will be, I guess, a very quick Facebook Live session. A very quick stocks by request because in an hour's time I'm doing Stock Smarts here. It's day one of Stock Smarts in Qatar. So it won't be something that's very lengthy, but I'll try to do as much and tackle as much stocks before I go down and do Stock Smarts here in Qatar as well. So it's a very significant day for the Philippine economy for the very reason that number one, GDP results is 6.9%, which is something very attractive and something that is relatively better than what everyone, I guess, predicted or projected. Everyone projected around a 6.5% GDP, but what we did was something even better. So as you see, I'm just in my hotel room right now because it was relatively a tiring trip. For those who have been following the videos that I've created, I just came from Sydney, Australia, just a couple of days ago. Then I stayed one day in Manila. Then I flew straight here to Qatar. So my body clock is still Sydney. Sydney time is around 2 a.m. here, but it's 6 p.m. here in Qatar. So 6 p.m. in Qatar, 11 p.m. in Manila, 2 a.m. in Sydney time, but my body clock is in Sydney time. So a couple of things. People have been asking me questions about why is the index down even if why is the index down even if the GDP results were very good. The thing about that is this, and I'll try to make another video to address that as well, but the short answer is the economy lags the movement of the stock market, meaning what happened today is just a validation of how good the stock market is, meaning the movement in the stock market over the past few months was validated by the economy. So the economy validated the upward move in the stock market. It just tells us that we're not a bubble. There was someone who wrote an article before. It was written by in Forbes. He said that the Philippine economy is a bubble, but 4 or 5 years after, we're still here to stay, and the Philippine economy is still moving and going forward. Now, index is down. We're below 8.3. And again, for those who attended my technical analysis sessions, price discounts everything because of the market failing to stay above 8.3, because the market failed to break out of 8.5 and stay above it, and it failed to hold above 8,300. The market is now retracing. The market is now on its way back to the strongest support at around 8,100 pesos per share. So does it mean that the GDP results was something that was relatively bad? Hindi naman. It just really means that a lot of people still are taking profits. You have to understand that at a certain point in time, people will have to take profits, and even though our market is down from 8.5, it's still a relatively high amount from where we were last year. So that's the context of everything that's been going on. So for those who've been following also my Facebook posts for today, I've posted already some attributable notions for some stocks already that most of you have requested, but I just really wanted to do this Facebook Live because I promised that I would do a lot of Facebook Live sessions still. It just so happened that I wasn't able to go out today. I was just really in my hotel, tired and jet lagged still yesterday. I came back to my hotel around I think midnight Qatar time. That's around 5 a.m. Manila time. So it's been a action-packed November for me, but it's something that's fun and something that I love to do. June Dagyo's asking for CLC and IDC. You're from Singapore. I'm excited to be there. Excited to meet you also tomorrow, next week. So thank you so much to all of you guys from Singapore as well. So let's begin. Now, the first stock that I'd like to talk about is Ayala Land. We posted also a few weeks ago that the target price for Ayala Land was 46, and the failure to break out of 46 from Ayala Land produced a sell signal for it. The thing though is this: it not only failed to break out of 46, but it started to retrace after that. After hitting 46, the stock started to retrace, and it broke I think two possible support areas. One is around 43.5 and now at 41.7. So for those who are watching Ayala Land, please watch 41.7 pesos per share. If Ayala Land fails to break 41.7 pesos per share, or it fails to bounce from 41.7 pesos per share, I believe the stock can retrace down to 39.5. So 39.5 is the strongest support for Ayala Land. If it fails to hold 41.5, the stock can go down to 39.5 pesos per share, which is the strongest support. 39.5, if Ayala Land fails to hold 39.5, the stock will now be bearish, and something to avoid. Please avoid if it fails to hold 39.5. Fails to hold 41.7, please avoid also, because the retracement will bring it back down to 39.5. However, for quick traders though, should it bounce back from 41.7, it could be a buy signal, and your target price is 46. So again, I repeat, if it stays above 41.7 and it holds above 41.7, there's a quick trigger buy signal at 41.7 and your target price is 46. That's around a 10% trade for the stock, especially for those who would like to do quick trades. Ang daming taga-Doha na nandito. So yeah, I'm excited to meet you, Jose Andres. Good evening. Good evening to you. It's nice to be in Doha. It's not so hot anymore, no, and that's something that's relatively good as well. Next stock is Ayala Corp. Similar still, it failed to break out of 8-1. The sell trigger is because of its failure to break out of the 1,100 support level, resistance level. Now the stock is at 1,000. I think if 1,000 does not hold, Ayala Corp can go back down and retrace to 900 pesos per share. So please reference this 1,000. A bounce from 1,000 is a buy signal for Ayala Corp. Target price is back to 1,100. Failure to hold 1,000, the stock will drop to 900 pesos per share again. Next one is Surpass. A lot of people are a bit alarmed about Surpass because of its not so good earnings results, which is relatively warranted naman. You have to understand that companies always follow sales and earnings, and Surpass earnings have dropped, which is a trigger, also a red flag for investors who are chasing after good earnings reports. So with that, Surpass, no buy signal. The stock is breaking down. It's relatively cheaper now, but because the stock is bearish, kindly avoid first until we see a reversal signal. So bearish stock, Surpass is a bearish stock. Position traders, please avoid it first. For quick traders, please avoid it also, as the stock is still breaking down. Momentum oscillators are still showing a more bearish undertone, so we don't have any buy signal for that stock as well. So we've talked about Ayala Land, Ayala Corp, Surpass, and also the PSEI. The next stock that I'd like to mention is Cebu Pacific. Cebu Pacific broke down of the support at 102 pesos per share. It's now floating at the strongest support at around 99. So please watch out for Cebu Pacific. Two things could possibly happen. If it fails to hold 99, Cebu Pacific can drop down to around 95 pesos per share. And not just that, if it fails to hold 99, the stock from a position trading standpoint, from a position trader's perspective, now becomes bearish. So failure to hold 99, 99.5. Position traders, please avoid. Failure to hold 99, 99.5. Please stay away from the stock. Bounce from 99.5 though will bring it back to around 102 pesos per share. But you have to understand the context. Momentum oscillators for Cebu Pacific are still showing a more bearish undertone. So we don't have any signal yet showing a reversal from that point of view. But what I'm saying is, if it fails to hold 99.5, Cebu Pacific can go down to 95 pesos per share. So PSEI, Ayala Land, Ayala Corp, Cebu Pacific. Next stock we'll talk about is Now. And Now is quite interesting, no, because it failed to it's bucking the trend in a PSEI that's been dropping, in a PSEI that's been going down. Now has been doing the opposite. It's something that has been going up as well. So people have been asking, was there any disclosure, was there anything? But if there's anything that I know, and I'm a person who just follows technicals well, is number one is it broke out from the resistance at 200-day moving average, which is one of the strongest, and MACD is also showing that the stock is bullish already. So from oscillators, from chart overlays, from different facets of of technicals. The breakout from 2.6 is what's triggering the movement up for Now Corporation. I repeat, whatever movement that you're seeing now for Now Corporation is because of the breakout from 2.6 pesos per share. I repeat, whatever movement that you are seeing here is because of the breakout from 2.6 pesos per share of the stock. So for position traders, the best time for you to enter was at the breakout of 2.6. For position traders, as long as the stock stays above 2.6, you can still project, there can still be a positive move upward. As long as it stays above that range, the trend can still continue to go upward. So position traders, please watch for 2.6 pesos per share. The trend will still be our friend. The trend will still continue to go up as long as 2.6 will hold. Oscillators are showing a bullish undertone. Chart overlays are showing also momentum upward. So if you're positioned in the stock, no sell signal yet. For quick traders though, please watch out for 3.1. We have one resistance at 3.1, and if you're a quick trader, if the stock fails to break out from 3.1, there might be a correction, there might be a retracement here because of the resistance there. I repeat, if the stock fails to break out of 3.1, we may experience a retracement from the stock also. So if quick trader now fails to break out of 3.1, please take profits. If it fails to break out of 3.1, you're still a position trader as long as the 200 moving average still holds. There's no sell signal. Now, on a more optimistic side naman, if it breaks out of 3.1, two possible target prices for now is number one, 3.4, and number two, 3.85 pesos per share. I repeat, 3.4 and 3.85 pesos per share. Failure to break out of 3.1, 3.15, the stock can possibly go back to 2.6 pesos per share. So, PSEI, Ali, Ayala Corp, what was the other stocks that I mentioned? Ayala Corp. Now, I think I mentioned another stock prior to this, no, Cebu Pacific. Next one we're gonna talk about is Rockwell Land. So I hope you guys are learning from this. I won't be able to greet most of you already because I have to exit early because of the stock smarts here in Qatar, no. So ROC is for those who followed X also, X also. For those who followed our trainings in technical analysis, please note also that this is part of our lesson when moving averages would converge with each other, when moving average would start to collapse. Please remember this, people who attended Sydney and Malaysia. Please remember this lesson about the collapsing of moving averages, and that's what we saw. The breakout from it was around 1.8 pesos per share. Because of the breakout of 1.8, we have this movement. So position traders, hold your positions, no sell signal yet. Quick traders, no sell signal yet. The stock has just actually broken out. It hasn't just broken out, but it broke out also with relatively strong volumes as well. The stock though is now at a resistance point. For quick traders, failure to break out at 2.1 may result in a bit of profit taking. I repeat, failure to break out from 2.1 may result in profit taking, and which may lead the stock to retrace. So for people doing quick trades, please watch the 2.1 peso level. A breakout from 2.1 will cause the stock to go even higher. Target price is 2.6. Breakout of 2.1, target price is 2.6. Failure to break out of 2.1, it may retrace at 1.8. Failure to break out of 2.1. Quick traders, please take profits already. That's already a good handsome amount for you. Position traders, no sell signal yet as of this point in time, as the trend has just started to really buck and move upward. So Ayala Land, Ayala Corp, PSEI, Surpass, Cebu Pacific, now Rockwell Land. Next stock is, I don't know why you guys love requesting Cemex, but relatively from a position trading standpoint, we don't have any buy signal yet. The stock is still relatively bearish. The stock is still worth avoiding if you are a position trader. For quick traders though, the stock has bounced and has formed a support at 4.15. So for those who bought at 4.15, RSI now has started to cross. Now it's moving from oversold levels. Because of that, those who bought at 4.15, please make sure you sell at 4.8 pesos per share. Bounce from 4.1, target price is 4.8 pesos per share. I repeat, bounce from 4.1, target price is 4.8 pesos per share. Please make sure you take profits in Cemex as it hits 4.8 pesos per share, as the stock is still relatively bearish, and whatever movement you're seeing now is just really a movement from oversold levels in the stock. So that's it for That's it for Cemex. Our next stock is I forgot what's the next stock. Our next stock is PXP. Who among you has PXP? Please comment below. Hope you guys are tracking this as well. This stock naman is still sideways. The stock is still close to the resistance at 9.35. So for those tracking PXP, as close as it is to 9.35, you may take profits in the stock. We mentioned this, that there's a support level at 7.7 pesos per share. The support level at 7.7 pesos per share, which bounced last October, is what's causing the stock to move up, is what triggered the stock. But as you've seen over the past few days, PXP is now having a hard time at around 9.35 pesos per share. Because of that, you may take profits. Failure to break out of 9.35. Quick traders, please take profits already. Position traders, no sell signal yet. The trend is still headed up, but it's now starting to move sideways a bit. So I repeat, short term PXP is moving sideways a bit. The range is 7.7 to 9.35. Failure to break out of 9.35 is a take profit signal for quick traders. Position traders, major trend is still headed up over the mid to long term for this for the stock as well. Next one that I'd like to mention is Bloom also. Bloom, Manila Water, and Manila Water, Meg. Okay, Bloom is retracing. Again, the target price that we set for Bloom was at 11 pesos per share. A couple of days it failed to break out of 11. So for those who took profits from 11, congratulations. Now it's retracing back to around 10 pesos per share. So why am I saying this? Take profits at 11 as the stock started to retrace from 11. Bloom is now going back to the support at 10. So a couple of things that you need to watch out for is this. As a stock hits 10, please watch out for it very, very closely. If it fails to hold 10, it may retrace back and go back to 9.2 pesos per share, 9.25 pesos per share. So 11, because of the failure to break out from 11, the stock is now headed towards 10. Failure to hold from 10, the stock can go back to 9.25. But if it bounces from 10, buy again, and let's sell at 11 pesos per share for Bloomberry. Next stock. I want to talk about Manila Water. Manila Water is breaking down. Baliktad naman siya. If for those who attended Sydney and Malaysia, I talked about moving average collapsing. For this point, it's collapsing on the downward side. So for those who have Manila Water, please stay away from the stock. Please sell. If you're a position trader, it just started to break down. Also, the stock is bearish for the short, mid, and long term. Possible retracement for Manila Water, it could possibly go down to 28 or to around 26 pesos per share. So Manila Water, no buy signal. Bearish sentiment, the stock can drop to 28. Failure to hold 28, the stock can go back to 26 pesos per share. For everything to be normal and go back to where it is, to its sideways progression, Manila Water must go back to 30. But if it fails to do so, the stock will just go down to 28. Failure to go down to 28, the stock will go to 26 pesos per share over the short term. Next is MRP. Naku, I have 2 minutes. I need to go down to the seminar already. I need to pack up and go to the seminar. Malko, similar to Bloom, no, it failed to break out of 7.25 pesos per share. The stock is now back at the support. I repeat, the stock is now back at the support. Malko has a very, very weak support system after 6.5. So a couple of things that I'd like to note. If Malko fails to hold 6.5, probable downside will bring it to around 6 pesos per share over the short term. But if it stays above 6.5, the stock can bounce back and go to 7.25 pesos per share for the short term. That's for Malko. And then another M is Metro Pacific Investments. MPI also is floating at the support at 6.5 pesos per share. If MPI fails to hold 6.5, the stock will now turn bearish. If MPI fails to hold 6.5, If you're a position trader, please stay out of the stock first, as the stock is now reversing from bullish to bearish. So very, very important. If it fails to hold and doesn't go above 6.5 anymore, you are a position trader, please stay away from the stock. If it stays above 6.5, position traders, you don't need to sell yet. If you're a quick trader, bounce from 6.5 is a buy signal. Buy at 6.5, buy. If the stock holds above 6.5, target price is 7. Buy at 6.5, sell at 7 is around a 5% trade. So just measure it na lang if that trade is relatively worth it for you over the short term. So there was one stock that I wanted to mention that I posted. So I talked a bit of some stocks. Now most of you guys who are requesting stocks, it's already mentioned in this video. So if you just joined us, SSI is also breaking down, please avoid it. DD is also breaking down, please avoid it. It's I think just close nga lang to the support at 36 pesos per share. So the only thing that will possibly hold DD is if it holds 36. But other than that, the general trend for DD is down. So position traders, please stay away from DD first. Quick traders, if it bounces from 36 pesos per share, it might merit a buy signal for us for the short term for a quick trade. And lastly, everyone's favorite, Jollibee, JFC. JFC is trying to do something interesting today. It's above 258 pesos per share, which is our resistance, which is the resistance that it failed to break out from for a stretch period of time already. So here's the thing. If Jollibee breaks out of 258, stays above 258, and does not break down of 258 for a very, very long tenure, it now opens a new world of possibilities for Jollibee. Please take note of this. For the short term, if Jollibee stays above 258, I believe the next target price for Jollibee for the short term will be around 278 or to around 280. But a longer target price for Jollibee, it won't happen overnight. As long as the trend will be there, as long as the trend is in effect, and as long as the upward moving averages are still bullish, 330 pesos per share for Jollibee. So short-term target price stays above 258. It can go to 278 to around 280 pesos per share. However, if the trend continues, also mid to long-term trend continues to be bullish, Jollibee has now an opportunity to go to 330 pesos per share. So that's it. I'm sorry I could not greet all of you because seminar starting in a few minutes and I need to go down. Just need to prepare my stuff. Was just here at the hotel the whole day, just really resting. So that's it. For those who are from Qatar that will attend the events, I'll see you in a few minutes. For those who are attending the weekend sessions, I'm so excited. It's nice to be back here. It's nice to be back in November, when it's not so hot. I would say if you go out, you'll not perspire as much anymore. Tagaytay weather feels already. So there, again, for those who are joining us just now, click the notifications button if you want to be notified every time I do a Facebook Live. Or the uploaded versions of this will always be in YouTube and in my website, marvingurmo.com. So, yun, if you're just joining us, I saw a lot of people asking for the Manila event. The Manila event will be December 3 weeks of December 2, 9, and 16. So if you're from Manila, I'll see you there. Singapore, we will be there next week. Then in December, we will be in Taiwan. Then in January, we'll be in CDO, with CDO, London, and then Dubai this February. And I'd like to announce Stocksmarts Iloilo for 2018 will be at the last week of February. So to all of you guys, I'm excited to see you. I'm excited to be part of your journey towards financial freedom. I'll just end with this. Our GDP 6.9. We're faster than China. We're probably the only country that is better than us right now in terms of growth is Vietnam. But all of this, it will just be numbers if we don't take advantage of it. So why am I saying this? Don't just remain in stocks. Build more opportunities for business. Don't just try to invest in stocks, but try to use it so that it becomes a source of income for you, something that will reach your goals of freedom, something that will reach your goals of retirement or whatever plans that you have. And I really hope that it doesn't just become numbers, but we get to participate in all of it. Because if we don't, sayang it will just be the rich who will just get richer. And the entire heart of why we do Stocksmarts is really to make the middle class larger, so that Filipinos who like to invest in themselves, who like to value learning, will take part of this growing economy. So that's it for now. The lack of energy is because I'm still jet lagged, and I hope that you guys, it's 11:25 in Manila, but I appreciate those who are from Manila who are still joining us, and those who are from Sydney. I know it's 2 a.m. na there in Sydney, but thank you so much from the bottom of my heart to everyone who just keeps on joining these sessions, and it's always an honor to be part of your journey towards financial freedom. So this is Marvin Germo, live from Doha, Qatar. Pangit ng background ngayon though, no buildings, no anything, but thank you, and it's nice to be part of your journey. I hope this whole helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. God bless you, and good night. Stock Smart Qatar. I'll see you in a few minutes.